Hey guys, welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation page. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below and let me know what you think. Um, if To all the new subscribers, thank you. I appreciate it. This is going to be a war story, and today uh, the story is from Men's Central Jail, LA County, and I'm in 2900, which is cell living. It's 4-man cells, a bunk bed on one side and a bunk bed on the other, basically, in about a 15 by 15 cell. And four guys living in there. No TV. Very rarely do you get a chance to go outside and see the sun. It's probably as close to administrative segregation as you're going to find in a county jail, I guess. It's pretty dim. It's dark in there. If you're lucky, you might get a newspaper or something and find out what's going on out there in the world. There was a phone in the cell and a toilet with a sink. So you can imagine what the living conditions were like. They sucked. But today's story, I'm going to tell you about one of the guys I was celled up with, and I was in this cell probably about 10 weeks. I was waiting on the chain to go to prison. I had signed my deal already and took my commitment and was just waiting to get out of there. And either, from what I heard, it was Delano, Tehachapi, or Wasco that I'd be going to. I ended up going to Delano. But this guy that I'm going to tell the story about really left an impression with me. He's a little youngster, 19 years old. He was a gang member, Blood. And for the story, we'll call him Tiny. And he was just stressing on his case, and normally people don't talk too much, but he was claiming innocence, basically. He had basically, his homeboys came and picked him up. One of his homies had got jumped, and according to him, he thought they were going to jump the other gang that had jumped his homie. Well, in the process of this, somebody ended up unalive. And at that time, the way the laws were, if you go to commit a crime and somebody ends up unalive, you're just as guilty as the person that may have pulled the trigger or used the knife or whatever the circumstances were that unalived somebody. So that's what he was claiming his circumstances were. Excuse me. And I remember him coming back from court, and he was telling me, he said, like he was ultimately, I think, facing life on this. And he come back from court and he said, they offered me 14. What do you think I should do? And I told him, you know what? I can't tell you what to do. But, at that time, for a violent crime, you're doing 80%, or maybe it was 85% of your sentence. So 14 at 85, if all goes well, you'll be out in 12. Being that he was 19, he'd be out by the time he was early 30s. So I said, that's something that you may want to consider, because if you take it to the box, you may end up getting life. And what I mean by taking it to the box is you take it to a jury trial, and if the county puts out all the resources to have a jury trial and everything and they convict you, then you best believe they're going to throw the book at you and hit you with the maximum sentence. So he ended up not taking that deal. And, I ended up leaving a couple weeks later. I caught the chain, ended up in Delano. And uh, not too long after that, maybe about a month after I got to Delano, I ran into another white guy that happened to be next door named Blue from San Fernando. If you see this, shout out to you, Blue. Hope you're doing well. And, we're catching up, walking the yard, and he tells me, yeah, Tiny ended up getting 51. I'm like, damn, that sucks. But that's the price that you may pay when you're out there gang banging, dealing dope, and doing these type of activities. Now, one thing I learned from LA County is there's hundreds, maybe thousands of 18, 19, 20-year-olds that are getting life sentences because, they're trying to be a part of something. And one thing I'll tell you is once you're in prison, you become a product of the environment. You have no choice. Things that you might let go on the streets, you can't do that in there. You're viewed as soft. So, if a lot of people say I'm a product of my environment and that I was a product of my environment and the route I went down. But let me be clear, I had choices. I just made the wrong ones. And it took me where it took me, and thank God I'm still alive to tell my stories and hug my wife and kiss my kids and go to work and pay bills and stuff. I'm actually thankful to be able to do those things. Like, it changes your perspective when you end up in those places and you miss birthdays and holidays and special events. So the message for today is find something positive to get into. Go to school, go to a trade school, do something that's going to further your life in a positive way. There's so much money to be made out here legit. It's ridiculous. You just got to find the avenue that works for you and make it work. Just a quick video for today about how Tiny got stretched out and got that 51-year sentence all over stupidity, basically. So, like I said, if you like these kind of stories, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. I appreciate your time.